Have you ever thought about owning your own property here in Idlewild? Guess what? I'm here on Idlewild Beach, right here, Idlewild Lake. And we have the people right and ready to talk to you about your legacy, about owning property here in Idlewild. Now, to my, I think this is my left, I have Ms.
Terri Kitchen.
Yes.
TLK Realtors.
And I have Mr. Frank Cargo over here. They're actually situating a little excursion for themselves here on Idlewild Lake. Okay, so in a minute we're going to talk about what you need to do or what you can do in order to be here with us in Michigan. Not any place in Michigan, but Idlewild, Michigan. Mr. Cargo, can you tell me a little bit about the history of your organization and what your plans and intentions are here for Idlewild, Michigan?
Absolutely. Let me give you a little more history about Idlewild and how I came into Idlewild. I came to Idlewild as a child. My parents used to come up here from Detroit every summer and enjoyed the lakes and the swimming and skiing and all that sort of thing all those years ago. But in the 1960s, after the Civil Rights Movement, they said, you know what? We're not going back to Idlewild because we can go everywhere. We can go everywhere, but Idlewild was created for African Americans. It was created for us to own land and to invest in that land, and so we'll have a place to go. But in the 60s, with the Civil Rights Movement, everybody fled because they wanted to see the rest of the world. Now we've seen the rest of the world, it's time to come back to Idlewild. This is our community to preserve, it is our community to invest in. And we're inviting all of you, consider, invest in Idlewild. Build a beautiful luxury home around the lake. You see the lake, wouldn't you love to have your family swimming here and enjoying and boating here for generations to come? But there's another piece to that. Let's make it an investment. That investment can be paying for itself while you're not here through short-term rentals. So please call us if you're interested in investing in your family's future for generational wealth for years to come. Come to Idlewild, invest in our own community. Let's not wait for others to gentrify us out of a community. Let's satisfy that for ourselves right here and now. We're looking for professionals that have the ability and the willingness to invest in themselves, this community, and Idlewild, Michigan. Call me.
Yes. So what greater investment that you will ever make in your life than yourself? Investing in you is investing in your health first and in wealth. And that's what we're trying to do here is preserve wealth, African American wealth. So the investment starts with you. You investing in self and investing in Idlewild will encompass all of that.
So I have a few questions I want to ask you. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. My first question is, what is the current availability of vacant land in Idlewild? And are there specific areas that are more suitable for building?
Okay, so in answer to that question, it's a really, really interesting question because the land is owned. There is not land that is unowned here in Idlewild, and much of it is owned by legacy landowners that have invested in their land. They've had it for generations after generation, and over time their properties have been disposed of, but they still pay the taxes on it. So there's tons of land within the Manistee forested areas that are ready to be reinvested in. So that's one of the things I want to say. The other part about it, did you want to comment on that, please?
Well, I was just saying there's a lot of dilapidated and abandoned homes as you ride through the area. If you want to come and take a sneak peek, I don't want you to be discouraged by that because we can search out, find those homeowners, see if they're interested in selling or if they're interested in investing or partnering with you in your ideas. So don't be discouraged in any way. We can make your dreams a reality. You just have to pick up the phone and give us a call or tweet or just contact us by any social media means. And we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm with TLK Realtors, so you can reach out to me at www.tlkrealtors.com also. We'll get all your questions answered.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. My next question I have for you is, what are the zoning regulations and building codes in Idlewild? Are there any restrictions or requirements I should be aware of?
There are a number of things, but I'm going to go with the most simplest and basic one of all that you must understand. Under today's building codes, to actually build on land in Idlewild, Michigan, you must have what we call 4 lots. A lot is 25 by 100, and 4 of those together, either next to each other in tandem, gives you buildable land. If anybody tries to sell you land that's less than 4 lots, know that you cannot build on it. So that's the most important thing for you to understand at this point. As a community and a planning commission, there are a lot of things that are going on and trying to understand what our zonings need to be to encourage the growth that Idlewild needs and will be expecting you to participate in.
And may I add, Frank? And to that, to the ends of the lot being too small, that opens up the possibility for adjacent owners to contact us so that they can purchase those lots and sprawl or expand on their own.
That last question, I really appreciate that. I have another question that I'm hoping that you can answer for me. Could you provide information about the local utilities and infrastructures available for the land I'm interested in? Is there any access to water, electricity, sewage, or roadways?
Sure. All right, let's do the easiest one, roadways. Yes, there are roadways through here. Many of them are paved, and some of them are dirt, but they are passable. So let's leave that at that point. Now let's talk about access to utilities such as water. Well, you're in the rural part of the state. And many of the people, if you're not right in certain areas where they're getting water in, plan to build a well. Okay, plan to have septic tanks. You are in rural America, and this is not uncommon across the country when you're in rural areas. So that is part of it. You do have to have your own that. And propane gas.
All right, thank you. Thank you for answering that question. That was very helpful. The next question I have for you, either one of you guys can answer. Are there any environmental concerns I should be aware of while purchasing land in Idlewild? Are there wetlands, flood zones, or other potential concerns?
Okay, yeah, well, in Michigan, we do have some flood zones, and normally they're noted. So in Idlewild, I would say they have a map with they being the EPA or Environmental Protection Agency. So we can always look those things up and make sure that you're safe from any type of environmental hazards. But what I want to say is that Michigan, all year round, we don't get those major disaster, any type of like devastating weather here, and that's what makes it so great, and that's why a lot of people flock to Michigan lakes throughout Michigan, is because we don't have a lot of floods or major devastation throughout our state. So overall, this is a great place to come and play and have fun and also just vacay and relax. But we will make sure as a company, and also Cargo Luxury Homes,
yes.
We will make sure that wherever you decide to build or buy, that is not a flood zone.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys. All right, guys, I have another question for you. Y'all are doing so good answering my questions. Thank you very much. So my next question for you lovely people are there any future development plans or projects in the area that could impact the value of the land or the neighborhood?
I'm going to answer this in a very, very general way because you're getting this message at a point in time when there's great opportunity to develop in Idlewild. And we can write our own scenarios and then present them to the right folks and see what will go here. You are getting in at the ground level. That's what I want you to understand. And the rules can be created and be justified as we start to grow and develop. So keep an open mind, but always know what you want to do. There you go.
Thank you so much for that last answer to that question. Okay, you know I have more questions for y'all, so I hope y'all are ready for this one. The next question I have is, can you provide information about the local real estate market trends in Idlewild? How have the land prices and demand changed in recent years?
Okay, well, I can definitely say that the prices are up. If you look on the multiple listings survey, which is our real estate, our Realtors Association, which is National Association of Realtors, so any listing that's on the web through the Realtor Association is on the MLS, and that will show a trend of increasing homes prices. So right now, I would say probably over the past 3 years, don't quote me, but I can say that the market has tripled. And I say that because if you take any SEV, state equalization value, from any tax record and you multiply that by 3, that's going to be the average price that homes are selling for. So you can give or take. So when you're looking at the market today versus previous years, definitely in Idlewild, the homes are increasing in value. So I would say that's on the rise.
Ooh, wow. All right. So we need to buy in quickly.
Yeah.
That's right. I want to get in now.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay, I got another question. All right, so my next question is, are there any preferred local builders or contractors that you recommend for building on the land I'm considering?
That's a perfect question, and guess what? It's one that's still under development, because I do want to find the perfect builders for you in this area for the kind of projects that you want to build. Lake County is a county that is a vacation land county. So there's not a lot of builders here, and we're working to develop the builders to build it to the good specifications so that your work will be done very well. So stay tuned, but get in touch with me, Frank Cargill, through Cargill Luxury Homes, because that's one of the things we're looking to do is help people build here in Idlewild, and we're building relationships with builders that can do the kind of quality construction that is necessary to deliver the product that your family needs. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Your answer's coming.
Yes.
All right, thank you. You guys know I'm a little broke college student, ex-college student out here. But my next question is going to be referring to, can you help me understand the process of financing the purchase of vacant land and the substantial construction if applicable?
All right. So let me answer that one. And there's just one really, really easy phrase. Cash is king. All right, so let's begin with that. Well, why cash? Well, Idlewild properties have been owned by families for generations after generations after generations. There's been very little turnover of property, and that's what we'd like for you to do ultimately, to get the kind of cash, to get the kind of property and value you want from your land. So there are not a lot of the comparables that usual banks are looking for when they're trying to price the value of your land, when they want to lend you money. But if you've got cash, you can make your deal, and we can get you the property that you want. And I would assume that start with that, especially in buying land itself. Don't expect to get it financed. Bring the cash.
Yes.
All right.
And then we have investors, so the cash doesn't mean it have to come from your account. If you don't have it, you have to still call us, because we have people that are willing to invest in you.
Ooh, yes, I can afford to get some property.
Perfect.
Okay, guys, now I'm looking to get this property. I need you to let me know, are there any potential challenges or considerations unique to building in a rural area like Idlewild?
There are, but I'm going to suggest this. Before you sign on the dotted line for any piece of property you own, have a survey that you've paid for so you know exactly what you are buying. That is your responsibility to know, and you must invest in a survey. And that survey is going to tell you, I'll leave it at that. Invest in a survey that's going to tell you what the property lines are, that's going to tell you the topography, that's going to tell you if it's in a wet zone or not, was there a former lake there at some point in time, all of those things. Is there more, Terry?
And I think you just hit the nail on the head when you said it's your responsibility to have a survey done, because Frank, like he said, that would be the first thing he would advise his client to do. That's why you need a licensed realtor who knows all of these steps to go through. He will advise you to do the survey first, and then what comes next. And then from the survey, you'll know if you need an environmental inspection, and you'll know the other inspections that will be needed as you go through the process. So you must contact your licensed realtor. And for Idlewild, we are that person. We are the people, Frank and Terry.
Hey, so now I don't have to go buying sight unseen.
That's right. Absolutely not.
They answered all my questions that I had. Now I'm hoping that you, like myself, are interested in purchasing property in Idlewild, and these are the people right here who's going to ensure that you build a legacy, not just for yourself in the current, but even through the future. And unlike Mackinac, where it's all built up and you can't drive a car, you got a bike and a horse, you can build here. You can't do it there. But this historic resort, Idlewild, Michigan, it's ready for you to invest in. It's ready to be brought to that next level. And you know what? We're looking for you, and we can't wait for you to be our neighbor. All right. Till later. Bye, guys. Bye.